So I went ahead and grabbed. Because I put it in my fridge to send it to.
Yeah. Sweet.
What's up, Amory? How's it going?
I've been here.
I know, I just now saw you. Don't judge me. Don't talk to me that way. Just say, good to see you, Richard.
Hi.
Oh, I lied. It was for my Christmas.
Yeah, Patrick, let's go to the rodeo.
Okay, SpongeBob. That's my best Patrick impersonation. I appreciate that.
Are you warm in here? You got your shoes off.
Dude.
I don't mind the shoe. I don't mind them shoes being off. You leave them alone.
Feet probably smell like roadkill.
Nope.
That would be your breath.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I was saying that to Noah. It might be, yeah, Noah.
Yeah, totally.
Emery, you are awesome.
Awesomer than Noah.
Can you not just take it compliment and keep it?
Do what?
I
No,
said,
I can't.
I
I'm
said, can you
sorry.
not just take a compliment and keep it?
No.
Nope.
That's just how the good Lord made her.
Emery, what are you doing? Are you playing Pokemon?
No, I'm looking at Instagram.
Looking at the old IGs
Yep.
or IG because it's not IGs.
I don't really ever look at Facebook.
Do you have Facebook?
I do.
What,
Because
Emery?
I had to have it for dance.
You had to have it for dance.
Yeah. It's a floating sheet.
What?
Oh, I need to plug this.
Floating sheet.
Dang it.
Oh my gosh, it moved.
There's a floating sheep. I already have that floating sheep. I have that floating sheep.
Wait.
I'm trying to get it.
And for those of you joining us on YouTube right now, if you're joining us whether now or later and wondering what in the world is going on,
It's floating sheet.
we're talking about Pokemon Go and a floating sheep
It's a
or a piece of cotton. I don't know. What is it called? What do they call it?
It's a floating sheep that has leaf wings and it kind of looks like a blueberry from the back. Oh, I got it.
It looks like a blueberry.
That's awesome.
Floating sheep.
Man, that voice is cool. Hey, let me know when this TV's on.
It's on.
Thank you.
Yeah, it just got.
Oh, thank you so very much.
Okay,
That's what I noticed. That's the best one.
All right, everybody.
Oh,
Dropped your
come on,
phone.
Bill, don't break your phone.
I love my super. This is my Superman mug. I love my Superman mug. I don't know if I've shown you my Superman mug, but this is my Superman mug. You see
You
it?
better put this-
No, this came from a family that super sweet, and they gave it to me years ago.
Just watch one of us make a huge like Superman girl.
What?
You know what a mural is?
Yes, I just didn't hear what you.
Oh,
There's some judgment happening right now.
What's up there, Braden? How's it going, sir?
Hey Richard, did you know in Pokemon Go you can't battle with Ditto?
Why?
You just
Because it
can't-
turns into something else.
You just can't battle.
Yeah.
In the original games, you can't.
So what were you saying about a mural that you so condescendingly said, looked at me and said, I don't know what a mural is?
I
What were
said-
you talking about? A
I
flash?
said just watch one of us make a huge mural of Superman.
I would love that. I would love that. Just paint it in my office. Put it in there and be
Just
like,
literally put your entire all
yeah, that would be sweet.
Have all your walls Superman.
Being defeated by Batman.
Oh no. We gave him ideas.
Thanks. Hey, that happened to Superman.
Somebody's grounded.
Ah!
Anyway, we're gonna get started here in just a minute before Ethan ends up getting in big time trouble and has to go home and cry. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But yeah. So this is like my go-to Sunday morning mug because it's awesome.
Mine is whatever's available.
What is this?
Me too.
Yours is what?
Furry chipmunk.
Braden, how's it going? My friend, my bud.
Why did Pokemon names have to be so hard to pronounce?
How does it feel to how did you get to help move Caleb in yesterday? No. Do you miss him? I love how you Yeah.
No, I don't miss him. Not right now anyway, but his internet's better. It's not revolving around his computer right
The
now.
internet is better.
Wait,
Because when he's on his computer, the internet focuses mainly on his computer instead of my Xbox.
computers use that Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Not his. Because
I
his
see
is
your nose.
crap.
Well, this is my Bible, and it keeps going to the second screen. I don't know why.
Okay, there was this cute gray chipmunk thing,
Excuse me, just a minute.
but I
That's
can't,
really
I can't pronounce his name.
Cool story.
It started with an M.
Hey, Braden, I got 2 new discs Friday night. Yes. Guess what I got?
I lost my escape. I didn't tell you. I forgot.
You lost your escape? No.
Yeah,
Um,
I lost one.
Guess what? Guess which discs I got? I was surprised I was able to find this one. Well, I got a Innova Wraith,
The gray chipmunk.
and then I got a West Side disc.
Where'd you get those at?
Academy.
Academy? Academy was actually stocked?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Academy has been stocked. Dick's
I wanna
is
try that.
very stocked. They
Well,
were-
even Dick's is back in stock now.
Oh, are they?
They got a bunch of Innova. Last time I went, which is a couple weeks ago.
A couple weeks ago, I bought about 6 discs. A couple weeks later, I bought about 2 more.
Oh,
Yeah.
come on.
But I'm looking forward to slinging them discs.
Yeah, I gotta,
We need to play today.
I gotta,
So just use a bunch
I gotta buy some more discs.
Where's Jacob at?
He was in the shower with me, bud.
Oh, wow.
That's good. He needs the shower.
I don't know if he'll be here or not. I'm sure he will. He won't be in class. I'll let you know.
That's fine. I understand. I thought Hayden was going to be here this morning. He kept talking like he was going to come. Do I have candy?
We'll do full trip.
Well, I know you have candy.
There is, yeah, you can have some, you can get a box of candy over there if you want. One box of
Take an
candy.
entire box.
Yeah, just
I'll
to,
take the entire Airhead box.
not, no, that's not, or one, you know what I'm talking about. Ooh,
Take
you-
one candy.
Hey, I got a question. Is there
Okay.
Mountain Dew?
yes, there's still Mountain Dew.
One is one.
You never know, it's CP. That would be overpowered, that would. Oh, I need to see if you can enter one into a gym.
I should
No, you can warm up.
I should start playing Call of Duty Mobile on a tablet.
Hey, did you pick this party?
Do what?
I said I should start playing Call of Duty Mobile on a tablet. So
Yeah.
just one dude play it, it's insane.
It won't let me select
You
it.
can actually use all your fingers just spread out. You don't have to just be in a tiny area.
It's true.
Sorry.
What'd you say? I heard my name.
What?
What did you say? I heard my name.
Why does that noise too fast to play? Oh my gosh, that's a bunch of Pokemon fans.
Yes, it is.
What? That's right. You're back. You're back with Pokemon.
So is Caleb.
Oh.
Mr. Richard.
Yes.
I show you something, but I didn't want you to yell at me for touching the box.
What?
The Airhead box.
Oh, did you touch the Airhead box? Why would I yell at you? I have never yelled at you, Emery.
Like as a joke, yell. Let me get it.
I've never yelled at anybody.
Probably yell at your son.
Anybody here? Well, he doesn't count.
No.
I'm not much-
Candy deserting. I'm not much of a candy eater.
It's too late, yeah.
He says with the big Mountain Dew in his body.
Did you know that Airhead boxes do this?
Yes, I know.
And then you just put it back.
Isn't that awesome?
Like what?
That's amazing.
I love it.
Sodas.
Okay, I'm tired.
What?
Can I have one?
What is it?
It's Dr. Pepper.
No. Yes, you can. Yes.
I'm starting to freak out because I got Dr. Pepper.
Please don't make a mess.
I'm not going.
Y'all hurry up and come over here so we can get started. Hey, shut those doors. What's up? It's Annabeth and Harley McKenzie. Happy birthday, Annabeth. And Harley, was it your birthday too, wasn't it? Yeah, happy birthday, Harley. Hey, Braden, can you shut both those doors? Happy birthday, guys. Oh my goodness, it's been so long since I've seen y'all. Man, and you just stole Braden's seat. That's awesome. I do. Yeah,
Sodas mess with your running.
Wait, what?
I know they do.
You're coming to my school? What grade are you in?
Y'all
Are
moved?
you in online or public?
What? Well, oh my gosh.
Yes.
What?
She's going to my school and she's in my grade. Wait, do you have your locker number? Oh, mine's 44.
Oh my gosh, mine is too.
Hey, mine's 201.
I haven't even been on it.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Everybody, let's just get excited. Hold on a second. Ah! All right.
They haven't.
Oh my gosh. I'm just excited. I am just excited. I'm just excited. And I can't finish that because nobody's listening. I'm so excited.
So excited to go back.
I'm so excited. All right. Hey. Look at me.
Twitter, is that you?
What?
I said, Twitter, is that you?
I'm just excited to see y'all because I hadn't seen y'all in so long. Y'all have gotten so big. Last time I saw you, y'all were this big. Now you're this big. You got that COVID. You got that COVID height. No, that sounds weird. Like you got sick, but you got tall. Anyway, he's still a sweat. He's still a sweat.
He is a little.
He plays trash. Well, hey everybody, a couple things. By the way, I would love one night this week to play Fortnite with y'all. Can we make the dream happen? Annabeth, Harley, I know you guys are like big time Fortnite players, aren't y'all? What? I'm down to play some Minecraft too. I just want to play. The reason why I want to play Fortnite is because I made a world.
It's because you like getting destroyed.
No. I've gotten better since we last played. No, I haven't. Huh? Oh, that's right. That's right. So we could come up to the church one night and play. No, it's not really. It's a lot better than what it was.
But is it good?
I've played on it before.
In his world, there's a lot of trash.
Did
So
you ever ping on?
just be prepared.
No, I don't bother with paying.
Okay, did you lag? Dude, I'd have to bring my.
Not really.
That's-
You want to play? We can play right now. No, we're in Sunday school. We can't do that. Red shirt. Anyway, so just be on the lookout for that because I created a world and I want to show you guys the world. Ethan's played the world. He said he liked it. I don't know if he was lying to me. No, I'm just kidding. I don't think he was lying to me. But it's a lot of fun. The world I made. It's a Zone Wars that has a cool storm and it's got cool stuff in it.
Is it a Superman thing?
No, it's not. No. But it's got all the best elements from the previous Fortnite places.
Sadly, it's not possible to theme it, but can Batman.
It's true. You can make lots of Batman locations. Anyway, so I want to play that with y'all this week. Y'all down with that? And like we can even just get together and play here at the church if that'll work.
I would have to bring. And besides, I mean, I can bring my Xbox.
Do what?
Besides, I mean, I can bring my Xbox TVs. It takes up too much storage. Wait, I got dibs on playing on the big screen.
If we can get the big screen up and running.
I'll bring my TV.
If not, we can just turn out the lights and play on the small big screen. I bought a mini projector. Yeah.
Was it worth it?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That is adorable.
Look how sweet. It is adorable. It's adorable.
That'd be awesome to watch movies.
Its name is Miro.
I thought that was Wally.
Look how small this is. We could nickname it Wally.
Wow. Will's
Anyway.
a smart man. I tell you.
Annabeth and Harley, like, what has been going on? All right, so we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna get started. I want to share with you guys just a couple things, just some stuff for you to know. Here we go. That's what I want. All right. Ooh, no, I don't want it to. Hold on. So sorry. Ta-da. And I've got to. Oh, hello there.
You having trouble?
No, I'm good. I'm short. All right, so here we go. Just a couple things that we have coming up. Today we've been talking about church. We're going to continue to talk about church, and Sunday nights we're also talking about like church, because being a part of a church is super important. Here's a couple of things that we have coming up. Let me move to be able to tell you. Ooh, I almost broke my TV. Wednesday night is. Ooh, this might be old. I might have
It is
messed up.
old.
That
Yeah,
is.
that's, we've already gone to the other side.
We've already done this.
Yeah.
Did I mess up? Did I mess up?
Time treasure.
Were you tired when you made this?
Ah,
No. JK, just give me a minute. Just give me a minute.
Saw the movie yesterday.
Yeah, well,
I was waiting for the old guy to die.
Yeah, I was gonna ask Chris how much longer.
I was waiting for the old guy to die.
yeah, because I knew that he was going to die.
I knew I knew it wasn't right. There was something not right about that.
I already seen the movie.
I haven't.
Movie was good. Movie was good. Do what? Overcomer. It's really good. It's really good. Give me just one minute. 1 minute.
Noah's best description.
I was waiting for the old man to die.
I knew he was going to. No.
Usually if you see movies like that,
Thanks for the spoil. You spoiled that an old man died.
if you see someone
Usually if you can hear the heart rate monitor, that means your heart rate's either gonna drop or it's gonna spike.
I'm so glad that like we have these spoiler alerts for like, you know.
Oh, sorry, Brayden.
Sorry, no, sorry.
I don't care.
Yeah, sorry, no, sorry.
I've been trying to stay awake.
Sure, you were trying to stay awake. You were.
I tried to stay awake for a little bit.
Sure, you did. You did.
So did you end up doing it in here?
Yeah, we ended up doing it here because
If it was outside, I would have.
there was allegedly like a 40% chance of rain. So I was like, all right, we're moving it in here. And then I looked and that 40% was gone.
Yeah, it never rained.
It didn't rain. It was insane. But we had a good time. We had several come to it. It was good. It was good.
Did it end up raining here at all? Was it like on this day?
I don't think it rained here. Did it rain over at the wedding?
It didn't rain.
It didn't rain at the wedding? Well, that's
I will
good.
say-
That
I will
is
say
good.
There was some heat flashes in the distance.
Some heat lining? I do apologize about, I thought I had this done and I did not. I was misled. I was misinformed. Fake news. Fake news. It's gonna be huge. Ghost white? What?
Okay, I said I'm really tan, She said some people will call that white.
Really pale. I said something like that's pale.
True, true. All right, so hey, welcome back. Sorry about that. We had a little bit of a hiccup and now we're good. All right, so here's a couple things that I want to talk to you guys about. Wednesday night is outside, and then our flow trip is being rescheduled to September. In September, there's going to be another movie night. Hopefully, it'll be cool enough and no chances of rain to where we can have it outside, because that would be super sweet.
In the movie be Star Wars.
No.
Can the movie be it can be a prequel to your, or like, can we just watch like the whole thing, like all 12 hours worth, 12 hours worth of movie?
2 days.
No.
Yeah, we get here at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Anyway.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we can't do that now. The movie I have is it's a cool movie. It's got it's really good. It's a basketball themed movie. So
Space Jam?
no, not Space Jam. All right, today we're going to talk about encouraging one another is what we're actually talking about today. And there's a video, there's this rapper guy, his name is Trip Lee. I don't know if you've ever heard of him, but Trip Lee is this really cool guy. He's a rapper, and he's a rapper turned pastor. And he talks about on whether a Christian can love Jesus but not the church. And so we're going to watch this, and then we're going to talk about that.
It's common these
We're not
days
gonna
for
watch it
people
with him
to
sounding like a robot.
it's common these days for people to talk about, loving God or loving Jesus, but not really loving the church or really his people, or, I love God, but I just don't like organized religion, and that's perfectly understandable, because there have been so many instances where particular churches or people in churches have really hurt people. So a lot of people, when they think about, loving Jesus and his people, they don't really love his people because they've had really hard experiences. And so it absolutely is possible for someone to love Jesus, but not his people yet. But that's not what we're called to. And I think when I meet somebody who's in that place, I want to help them to see how that's a little bit illogical. And here's why. When we are adopted by Jesus into his family, just like a regular adoption. So if me and my wife adopted a child, that child, when it becomes a part of our family, they not only have a new relationship with us and that we're father and mother to that child, they also have a relationship to my son and to my current daughter, right? They now have a brother and a sister, and they can't just claim my name like, oh, those are my parents, and have my last name and ignore their brother and sister. There've been a lot of relationships that have changed. So that when we become Christians, there's an identity change, and then now we belong to Jesus, when his family. But also there's an identity change in that now we have a lot of brothers and sisters, and we cannot claim Jesus and then ignore the brothers and sisters that we now have. That's part of what it means to be in the family. And of course, there are a ton of commands about how we're supposed to interact with each other as family. So I often understand what people are when they say that, but I want to help them see the inconsistency of it, especially that one of the main things that Jesus, who's adopted us, calls us to is to love one another, not to forsake the gathering of ourselves together, not to close our heart towards one another. And if we really love Jesus, then we're going to grow in our love for his people, because those two things aren't mutually exclusive. Our love for Jesus shows up in love for his people.
It's pretty good stuff. Have you ever heard somebody say, I love Jesus, but I don't like going to church, or like I don't go to church, or I worship God in my own way? I know I've heard people say that, and Emery says she has, and that's that's not in there are instances to where bad things happen in church, some deep scars that people have who refuse to go to church. For some of them, it's a deep scar because of something that happened to them whenever they were younger, or and I've seen, I've seen the bad side, and that's really weird to say the bad side of church because that's not what we think about. And hopefully you never experience that, but there are instances to where people, they feel that way. They love Jesus, but they don't like the church. And the problem with that is that as believers, we're called to assemble together, to gather together. And so when we enter into the family of God, we're called to love and encourage our brothers and sisters. And we're going to spend some time unpacking that today. Open up your Bibles to Ephesians chapter 4. Ephesians chapter 4. Ephesians. And we're going to look at Ephesians chapter 4. We're going to look at 17 through 22. And I've broken it up into groupings of verses, and I would love for somebody to read 4:17 through 18. You want to? Go ahead, Will. Start us off, sir.
Therefore, I say this and testify in the Lord, you should no longer walk as the Gentiles do, in the futility of their thoughts. They were darkened in their understanding, excluded from the life of God, because of the ignorance that is in them, and because of the hardness of their hearts.
All right. In 19 through 20, can somebody else read that? Go ahead. Go ahead, Emery.
They became callous and self-over to the word with practice of every kind of desire for more and more. That is not what how.
That's right. All right. And 21 through 22, can somebody read that, please? Go ahead, Ethan.
Simply heard about, taught by, as the truth is in Jesus. Take off your former way of life, the old self that is corrupted by the seed.
All right. I put 23 on there on accident, but that's right. Thank you. That's good. All right. So here we have Paul, and he's writing this to the church in Ephesus, and he's telling these group of believers, these things. A lot of times many people identify according to the specific activities in which they're involved in, and they work hard to be the best that they can be. Like, for instance, an athlete practices with the team, spends hours working out each week, and even does drills in his own time. The academic teacher, the academic studies, someone that is, they study constantly, and they spend their free time studying and learning and reading. A musician spends countless hours practicing scales, refining techniques, and maturing musically. Somebody that is wanting to be a big time video game streamer like Ninja or Tfue or Booga, or whoever your person is that you watch, they spend time doing that, right? Because that's what they want to get better, and that's what they want to identify as. But being a Christian is different from that. It's not about improving ourselves. It's or becoming more spiritual. It's changing who we are as a person. It's completely changing who we are. When we come to faith in Christ, we're born again as a spiritual person with a brand new identity, which produces new desires, godly desires, godly attitudes, godly, and fruitful behaviors. Okay. It's a life of contrast, right? The world says to focus on yourself. Being a Christian means to focus on who? Others, right? To put other needs ahead of your own, right? The world says give, or the world says take, right? Take. God says to give, right? So we live in this world of opposite. And because we live in the world of opposite, that means some things for us. Christians aren't to live the same way that the world does, right? Christians aren't to be ignorant of God's commands. Oh, I didn't know we couldn't murder. No, you can't be ignorant of God's commands. Verse 8, that's 17 and 18. 18 also says that we're not allowed, Christians aren't to allow their hearts to become hardened to the things of God. Like, we don't become callous, we don't become uncaring, Christians aren't to increasingly pursue impure living like non-Christians do. It's in the movie. I thought it was really good. And on Wednesday, we're gonna talk more about our identity. If we identify ourselves by the same things the world identifies themselves as, there's no difference between us. We're not to pursue impure living we're not to do the same things that the world does. And living in sin is not how Jesus taught us to live. Spoiler alert, we're not to live in sin. We're not continue to live sinful lives. Now, that doesn't mean that we're supposed to be, that doesn't mean if we sin, we mess, that's it for us. It's a difference in sinning and choosing to live in sin, and so we need to understand that. All right, now this is what I want you to do. I want you to picture yourself. Close your eyes and picture yourself on a summer day. So close your eyes. It's a summer day. And it's after you were working outside or you're exercising outside. It's extremely hot and you're just a mess. You come inside, you get changed, you get a cool, refreshing shower. How does that feel? Clean? Does it feel good? You can open your eyes now. Does it feel good? You feel cool. You feel more put together. Like, everybody just right now, just go. Yeah, there you go. Good job. Y'all did that. Most of y'all did that. Some of you didn't.
It's still hot.
I'm just kidding. But that's the thing. That to me is like how Jesus is with us. When we come to know Jesus, we are cleansed, we are made clean, and it's an awesome, wonderful feeling. We got to understand that we have a biblical responsibility to not be like the world and to act like the world and to do things as the world is supposed to do, or the world does. We're supposed to do things the way that God calls us to do. So, what's up, Jacob? What's up, dude? Let's kind of unpack this further because, let's just unpack this further. Somebody read Ephesians 23 through 28. There we go. Let me get this going. Here we go. All right, 23 through 28. Somebody got that? $28, which I have it broken down 23, 24. So who wants to read that? Go ahead, Emery.
Okay. We are in the spirit of your mind and to put on excel the one created according to God's likeness and in righteousness and purity of the truth.
Awesome. All right, and 25 through 26. Go ahead, Will.
Therefore, putting away lying, speak the truth, each one to his neighbor, because we are members of one another. Be angry, do not sin. Don't let the sun go down on your anger.
All right, 27 through 28. Go ahead, Ethan.
And don't give the devil an opportunity. Let the thief no longer steal. Instead, he has to do honest work so that he is sharing.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. So we've got these things that Paul talks about with our new self, right? The way that we are supposed to be as believers. And he says, that there's essentially 3 life changes, right? A believer that has these 3 life changes. Well, he talks about the negative, that you are to put away lying. You shouldn't be a liar anymore. Your pants should never anymore be on fire because you are not a liar. That rhymed a little bit, but the positive, we're to speak the truth to each other. I'm to be honest with you, not to be honest like in a way that's ugly and hateful. Some people are like, oh, I'm just being honest. No, you're just being rude. We're not supposed to be that way, okay? We're supposed to speak the truth. Like if somebody says something about, did you do this or did you say this? You don't say like, no, I didn't say it. It was somebody else, or it was my invisible friend, Carl. No. And if you have an invisible friend, Carl, and he's saying bad things, that's not a friend, and you need to. I hope you don't have invisible friends. But anyway, I don't know what I was getting at. But Emery, you're about to say something.
I was gonna say it's kind of like when your friend asks you, does this outfit look good, and you don't think it does, and so you kind of like politely let him down, like maybe it doesn't really match, but here's like a better shirt, maybe that would match.
That's when you get a girlfriend or a wife, you can't tell the truth. Yes, you can. You have to tell the truth, but you don't say things like, "Oh yeah, you're huge." You'd be like, that looks horrible. You don't say that. You say, "Do what? Who is Moto Moto?" Yeah, don't going off the rails. But no, you speak the truth, but you speak it in a loving way. You don't be ugly, you don't be rude, you don't be horrible about it. What happened to your arm? Oh, I thought you fought in a war and. So let me say this again, seeing as you lied to me. No, I'm just kidding. But we're to speak the truth to each other, but we're to do so in a loving way. We're to be honest with each other. That's life change. And you can do that in a way that's not ugly, do it in a way that's positive and encouraging. Like Caleb's motto. And then the reason for our first life change is that we're members of one another. We're in this together. You and I as believers, we're in this together. Lying to a fellow believer is like lying to yourself because we're all part of the same body of Christ. And how effective, how good is how beneficial is it to lie? Now, really, in the moment, you might avoid an awkward circumstance, but in the long run, you have a wedge between you and that person because you chose to lie versus to be truthful. That's not how we're called to live. The second life change is this, is that the negative is that, for us is like, don't let the sun go down on unrighteous anger. Don't let the sun go down when you're angry and you're having a problem with somebody. The positive is that it's possible to be angry while not sinning. You can be angry at somebody. Anger is an emotion that we have, that we are created with, along with happiness, our feelings of love, our feelings, sadness. These are all emotions, and all of our emotions need to be done and expressed in healthy ways. You can express anger in healthy ways, as well as, you guys probably know, unhealthy ways. It's possible to be angry while not sinning. Righteous anger includes anger over injustices and blasphemy about God. We can be angry about how people are judged by skin. We can be angry about how people are judged by if they're a cop or if they're not. We can be angry about those things. We should never judge somebody by their outward appearance, but always by the content of their character. And we shouldn't even judge, to be honest. Jesus says, don't judge. You know, that's so, therefore for us, we're not to be judgers. Okay. We can be angry about the things that are happening, but how we respond is to respond in a way that brings honor and glory to God. If you're angry and you destroy something, it's not really righteous anger. If you're angry and you seek change about something, positive change, then that's different. You can be angry about how somebody is doing something in the church that you don't, that you know is wrong and is causing harm. But how you express that needs to be done in a way that brings honor and glory to Christ. Does that make, do y'all get what I'm saying with that? Don't drop your cupcake. That's called cupcake. Did you know that? That's a really nice one. I like that. It's the cupcake. It's a cupcake. It's a mini. Yeah, it's a mini, but they call them, I've heard them called cupcakes. Well, it was a guy that's learning along with me, so maybe he didn't call, maybe he doesn't know, but that's what I heard. So, but anyway, so let's move on. And the reason is that self-centered anger, because that's the root. When you do something and you lash out and you sin, you know, if you are angry about something, so you get, if you're angry at somebody, so you talk bad about them, or you gossip, or you break something of theirs, or you're hateful to them, it's self-centered anger is what that is. And self-centered is always angry. Why is that? Why is self-centered anger wrong? Why is it sinning? Exactly. It's a focus on you, not on anything else. Allowing unrighteous anger to fester gives the devil an opportunity in our lives. Now, we never would say, oh, I want the devil to come and help me be sinful. We never do that. But when we when we turn to our selfishness, that is the way that happens. Paul says we're not to be that way. We're to deal with our angers and our frustrations, and we're to deal with and to have conversations with people, and to express our anger in healthy, Christ-honoring ways. Not to suppress our anger, right? Because that's not healthy either. We're not supposed to keep things bottled up, right? It's like you know, Inside Out. Y'all know that Disney movie. In Anger, the red guy, you know, the guy that is, you know, he bottles things up, and that's what when you choose to do that, you bottle stuff up, and then you have these massive breakdowns and outbursts. And anytime you do that because you bottled something up, it's never good. Paul says we're to handle our anger, but we're handle it in a Christ-honoring way. And then another life change deals with stealing. Now, it's not just taking something that's not yours, right? But it's stealing people's time. It's stealing people's, you know, it's doing dishonest work. It's doing wrong things. The positive is to be honest, to do honest work, to seek to do the right thing. And the reason is that we're not to only look for our own needs, but the needs of others. Through honest work, we can share with anyone in need. So let me ask you this. Is there someone in your life that inspire that when you think about these things, like being honest, being angry without sinning, speaking the truth to each other, is there someone in your life that reflects those things? Yes, no. You don't have to say their names. Those are the qualities that we should emulate. Those are the qualities that we should seek to do. We should seek to be honest with each other. We should seek to support and encourage one another by when I have a problem. If I have a problem with Jacob, I need to go and talk to him versus talking to Chris about how I'm irritated at Jacob. Does that make sense? Let's wrap this up. Ephesians 4:29 to 32. who would like to read 29 and 30? Don't be shy. You will see. You'll like reading right along with me. I wrote that song. Okay, it's a parody of Hamlet. All right, so who would like to read 29 to 30? Go ahead, Ethan.
No foul language to come from, but only what is good, building up someone, so that it gives grace to those who hear. And don't grieve God's Holy Spirit, you are sealed by it.
All right, Chris, will you read 31 and 32?
Sure.
Thank you.
Let all bitterness, anger, and wrath, shouting and slander be removed from your all malice, and be kind and compassionate to one another, giving one another, just as God also forgave Christ.
We receive, let me read this to you because I think it's really true. We receive encouragement in a variety of ways. Sometimes it comes through the presence of a friend or a generous gift. Other times we feel it as we spend time praying, reading the Bible, or worshiping with our church family. Most of the time, encouragement comes from the words of others. One of the best ways that God encourages his people, one of the best ways God encourages people, whether typed as an email or a letter. Now, let me just say, God is not literally writing you an email or a letter. Whether typed as an email or a letter, written in a card, sent via text message, or spoken in person, is through our words. I think we can all agree that some of the awesome things that we can do to encourage each other is to tell each other, to speak to each other encouragement. And we know the direct opposite is that, and you've probably heard some hateful words spoken towards you. And those are the worst. Those are the worst. And sometimes people say things to us and it just cuts us and it hurts. We're not to be that way. We are to be careful with our words. That's what he says in verse 29. He tells us to be careful. No foul language should come from your mouth. No foul language. Not just cuss words. A lot of times when we hear the word foul language, we think that somebody has a potty mouth. But calling somebody trash, calling somebody nothing, that's hurtful. That's foul. We're not to be that way. Imagine what could happen if every follower of Christ lived out that verse. Think about what would happen if everybody, and we're all not perfect, but just think about what if everybody did that? How much better would it be? Do what, Will? High-tech society. It'd be a very good high class, it'd be a lot better of a society if we spoke the way that, especially the church, if the church spoke in a way to each other, encouraging, supporting one another, loving each other in a way that was honoring to Christ. Guess what? That's what we're called to do. So this is what I would love to challenge you guys this week as we wrap this up, as we kind of put a bow on it and be like, here, is I want you to encourage each other this week. I want you to reach out to fellow youth that have not been with us since March. I want you to reach out to them, whether through Instagram or Facebook, if there's any on Facebook, or just a text message, or however you can message them, Snapchat them, whatever. If you follow them on TikTok, before it gets banned, send them an encouragement and say, hey, miss you. miss seeing your face. Would love for you to, you know, I just want you to know that, you know, and commit to praying for them, commit to, you know, doing that. I just want to challenge you guys to, and that's just a small and simple way. I mean, think about how often are we on our phones looking at Instagram or looking at or posting a Snapchat or playing a game or doing something like that. We spend a lot of time on our phones, do we not? This is yes, this is no. Don't you dare lie to me, because we just talked about how Christians are not supposed to lie to each other. So I just Jesused you in that moment. That's weird. But I want to encourage you to just take a minute and just say, hey, miss you at church, miss seeing you. Because, you know, I mean, just think about that. How would you feel, you know, how do you feel when somebody sends you a text that says, hey, I just want you to know I'm praying for you, that I love you, that I miss you when you're gone, you know? I want to challenge you to do that this week and just see what would happen if you did that. You may not get anything, but hey, that's, you know, when God calls us to do something, he simply calls us to be obedient. When you know, that's all we're doing, you know, the response of the person that we're reaching out to, that becomes between them and God, but it's between you and God how you respond. And so that's a challenge for us this week is to go into reach out to somebody that we haven't seen or hasn't been around. And if you have no idea who to talk to, I could tell you, you know, come talk to me. So I love you guys. Those of you joining us either now or later on YouTube, thank you so much for being a part of us. We'll see you back here tonight at 6 o'clock for discipleship training. So, and you guys, of course, can come back here. Annabeth, Harley, so good to see your faces. Oh my goodness, so happy to see y'all. Happy birthday to both of y'all. So they had a birthday yesterday. So happy birthday. If I had donuts for birthday, I'd give them to you. But yes, y'all do have cards from your secret sister. So from months ago. So it's been so, I know it's just been crazy. So anyway, but we're going to pray and then we're going to head down to church. Join us on Zoom or on Facebook Live for worship. So anyway, thanks for joining us, guys. Those of you joining us on YouTube, have a great